The housing market is wild and renovations are on the rise.
They sure are. And if you are sick of your kitchen, it's time to get real about those home renovations.
And this is Chick to Chick. Well, speaking of getting real about renovations, I've been wanting to get real about our primary bathroom. It is really working on my nerves.
It's really on your last nerve.
And it's not just because in COVID I was spending time in my bathroom. It's just because it's time. You know, this will be 10 years in it, and I think, you know, styles have changed, things have changed, and I just want something fresher, but I also don't want to break the bank. I mean, there's got to be a way that you can remodel and feel good about what you're putting in and not break the bank.
Yeah, you're over it is what you're telling me.
I'm over it.
You're over it.
Yeah.
You know, and the housing market has really changed. You know, we went through that whole boom that houses were selling like hotcakes, and that's not the situation anymore. And a lot of people are saying, you know what? Okay, we're not going to buy. Let's remodel. Mm-hmm. But what do you remodel? How do you go about doing it? What's a fair price? Don't worry about it.
We got you covered.
We're going to cover all of that with our guest today, Michelle Nestor. She is a realtor with Team Pete. Hey, Michelle.
Hi, how are you girls?
Great. We're so glad you're with us today. Let's just touch on the housing market. You know, we went through that whole phase where houses were selling like in 30 seconds.
You get a house and you get a house. And
they were going like Oprah, and, you know, houses were selling, you know, there was a bidding war. They were going 50,000 over asking price.
Crazy.
That's stopped. That's not the case. So what are you seeing now in the housing market?
If you're a seller, they're not selling as quickly. It now may take you 2 to 3 weeks to get an offer. Believe it or not, that's still awesome. But not within a day where you have 12 offers already on the table before it even went live. Now we're seeing it's more stable because buying power has decreased. Mm-hmm. Buying power is all relative to how the interest rates go, mm-hmm. and whether or not a buyer is able to buy at that list price. So now you're seeing sellers, it's not necessarily a seller market, but now they're adjusting their prices initially on the market, and then buyers are able to look around, have that ability to shop a little bit, and then be able to place an offer. So you're seeing it's a little more stable.
Yeah, and I think that's why people are deciding, I'm going to stay put now. There's no need to move. I like the bones of my house. I love my neighborhood, but I need to do things on the inside. And you really have a specialty with that as well. So if someone is not wanting to move, but maybe down the road, they want to make sure they're planning inside their house for when they do put it on the market, what are the spaces in the house that you want to concentrate on first?
Well, when I was starting to notice that when I would go into a listing, I would see that there were a lot of delayed maintenance from whether it's cosmetic.
That's such a polite way to put that.
Yeah, isn't she being PC?
Delayed maintenance.
Yeah.
Yes. So delayed maintenance could be, you never got the roof done and it pretty much needs done before you put it on the market, or you still have shag orange carpeting in the basement from the 1970s.
Hold on to that. It's going to come back around. Sorry.
Or some simple ideas like cosmetic, just like you said in your opening, that, you know, 10 years ago, the colors and choices and things were not the same as they are today. So if you're even thinking about selling your home, even if it's in the next 5 to 7 years, doing some cosmetic updates is going to better your value because you're going to be more desirable. Nobody wants to walk in and have to replace all the carpet and paint it from top to bottom. That alone is a good $10,000 to $12,000 right there.
And usually, what are the two rooms, the two spaces that you focus on? Is it the kitchen and the bathrooms? Those are the two spaces?
Yeah, those are the two spaces that are the best improvement for your dollar spent, just because they are the most expensive one to be doing. So kitchen and baths are definitely key. If you have Formica countertops and you're in a 200 now, due to the market values have increased. Some have increased $100,000. Now you're in a different price point. You need to improve your property to keep up. You don't want to be the worst or outdated home in the neighborhood, but you also don't want to be the most expensive and over improved. You want to find that middle of the road. And that's kind of what I do is I bring my 27 years of experience and all the home makeover improvements that I've been doing for my clients for the last good 7 to 8 years.
So what are places where you aren't going to necessarily get your money back? For instance, a backyard pool. Is that really a good investment? Is that going to increase the value of your home?
And again, that goes back to price point. If you're living in a $200,000 to $300,000 neighborhood and you decide you want to put in a pool, no pool is going to be able to be less than maybe $30,000 to $40,000. If you're living in a $500,000 to $700,000 community and you put in a $60,000 pool, your relative value based on those two situations are going to be extremely different. The other ones are things that would be relative to making the existing homeowner happy. If you want to add a she shed in the backyard, or you want to put on a awesome man cave above the garage, and you're adding space, but it really doesn't bring value. Those are the things that are over improved, bells and whistles that bring nothing. What you need to remember is square footage living space. Square footage living space. Are you increasing the space where your family will gather? Now, if you're adding a 2-story addition on, yes. In these current market conditions and costs for materials and labor, you're going to probably maybe make 75 cents on the dollar, especially if you had to sell it a year or two after. But if you're there for quite a long time, it will bring you true value. Another great space to finish is the basement. And that gives you additional living space because of COVID and the way that we have been at home more. With offices and people working from home more, they just needed to be able to provide different spaces of areas where they're not all together and there's a little bit of separation.
So I'm wondering with basements, some people want to really trick out a basement and put all kinds of things in it. And then there's just the finish the basement. Because if you think you're going to leave in a few years because your kids will be grown, then you just want something that people are excited that they don't have to come in, and map out and spend the money in, but it's got everything, the carpet, the walls are done. How do you feel about that with basements? I mean, is it still something that you should see how you want to spend your money on for how much you're going to live in it?
There's absolutely different levels of basement improvement. And it is going to be, again, based on your price point. And someone like me with my background in real estate and 27 years of experience knows that when I walk into a $250,000 house, if you just do walls, ceiling, and flooring and provide the electric or even an additional half bath, that no matter what is going to be an initial sticker price of about $25,000 to $30,000. If you want to add the bar or a full bath or an additional bedroom, as long as it meets zoning requirements, those are the things that starts to bring it over the $50,000 to $60,000. And if you are still living in that $250,000 home and you're going to add a bathroom, a bedroom, and a finished living space for the family, then it will all be relative to your neighborhood and whether or not it will appraise for the amount of money that you're spending.
So what I love about you, you're a realtor, but you also get your hands dirty and you will get right in and help folks with renovation projects. And we've got a great example. You helped this family renovate their kitchen and their bathroom. So let's start with the kitchen. What kitchen did they have and what did you do to it to change it?
Cherry cabinets were the thing. You had granite countertops, you had ceramic tile floor, but the colors just sometimes didn't go with as it progressed into where we are today in 2023. So what I did with them is I was able to take what they desired, which was We want more light. We want more color and less of the darkness that some of these traditional kitchens, like one behind me, offer. And unfortunately, the builders of that day just didn't use the floor plan to the best use of the space. So I actually gutted it down to the walls, and I took their family room and their kitchen and created a larger space and designed and worked with them to make it specific to their family needs. So they ended up with a large island with additional breakfast bar seating. They already have a formal dining room. So just to have that little niche for a family sit around table was all they needed. But I think it created a better space for them. And we actually took out the traditional 36-inch window and created a 56-inch span, created additional lighting, and opened up the room.
So it really changed the whole look of it. What about the bathroom? What did you do to that?
So the bathroom had your traditional tub. One of the things that people always are concerned with, especially in any, I would say, 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath home, is you do want to have a tub somewhere, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in every bathroom. Just so that you have a tub where if there's a need, it's there, whether you have young children maybe purchasing a home, or you need to take a soaking tub, a soaking bath somewhere. But it doesn't have to have it in the master, in the guest, or a basement finished space. So what I did was, especially teenagers, because usually the kids' situation with the babies are only so long. Their time in need for that space is short. So when you have teenagers, young adults, a lot of times the space within the shower is what they're looking for. So what I did is I gutted that as well, all the way down to the walls, increased their counter space, gave them the double bowl sink, but made sure that all the maximum space can be used for whatever needs are for surface needs. And then took the tub out and we went shower, floor to ceiling shower with glass doors. It turned out beautiful. And I think that the teen loves it.
I love it, Michelle. I think that you've really tapped into what people are looking for, how they really want to live in their homes. And I think it's great that you have such depth and information on what sells and how to remodel and do all the things. So thank you so much for joining us today.
I appreciate the opportunity. And I do want to make one thing just clear, is that, there's so much need out there for home improvement that I think that why I shifted and gave an additional service to my clients, whether you're ready to list and you need some modifications, or if you decided you're going to stay for a while and you need help as well, to open up my home makeover this calendar year, because what I'm seeing is the affordability. We want to do it for as little as possible, but I have a great team that we can come in and do it in a time specific situation for every family. So I know, because right now it's hard to book a contractor. You're sometimes waiting 12 months. So we're able to come in and do what needs to get done quickly and in a time specific schedule.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. And I think she hit on some important things. People want it done quickly.
Yes.
They want it done affordably, and they want quality products in their home.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm going to be looking for. She hit the big three. We loved it. And we are so glad that you joined us today. And hey, head over to check us out on our YouTube page. Like and subscribe until we are back to chirp about another topic.